Hi, how you doing there, folks? Tonight, what I want to talk to you is about the big MTA cuts that are coming. You know, the draconian cuts that are being threatened as a result of the governor wanting to cut 143 million out of the MTA's budget as a result of the raises that the transit workers are going to be getting. Well, this article appeared in the New York Post. On page 18, Tuesday, December 15th, big MTA cuts will leave New Yorkers hanging. Well, first of all, folks, I want to talk about the cuts. Number one, they want to cut out the W train. You cut out the W train, the R train, and the trains along Broadway are going to be so overcrowded, along with the N train as it's in Manhattan, that there'll be hardly any chance of getting a seat, let alone even being able to get on a train. You're talking about these trains are going to be like tin cans with sardines, folks. That's absolutely horrible. Now they're talking about cutting the Z train, and you got the J train, which is already overcrowded. You can hardly get a seat on the J train during the day. You stop the J train, take the Z train away. The J train's going to be so crowded, it's going to be almost impossible to even get on it, let alone get a seat. Then they talk about that the M is no longer going to be going all the way into Brooklyn, which means the D train is going to be more overcrowded than it already is. And the M train goes into Brooklyn during rush hours. Okay, then they're talking about cutting out 26 bus routes. Another 20 are not going to run in the weekends. I'll talk about the lines that I know offhand. They're talking about eliminating the M8, which is absolutely ridiculous, because that is a busy bus route. Number one, they're talking about eliminating the M6, and that's a busy bus route, and basically, I see a message being given by eliminating these bus routes. Basically, it's like this. Hey, little man, you can't afford a car like me, Big Richie. You don't get to ride in the surface, see scenery like me. You Charlie, you take the subway, you know. Instead, the subway is going to be overcrowded. Take away the M6. You're talking about trains, they're going to be so crowded, you're going to hardly be able to get a seat, folks. Now, these cuts are absolutely horrible, and I don't see... Now, want to talk to you folks about something. The MTA has three office buildings with 3,000 employees, staff members, not bus drivers, not motormen, not conductors, pencil pushers, pencil pushers. Now, why does the MTA need 3,000 office workers? You talk about 3,000 office workers making $70,000 a year or more. You're your patronage fat cats. Why not eliminate 1,500 of these fat cats? Once you do that, the deficit's over with right there, folks. And that should happen, but in the meantime, also, it's horrible that Governor Patterson wants to eliminate $143 million in aid to the MTA, aggravating the whole thing. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Plus, Governor Patterson and Jay Water that went and sent the thing straight to arbitration, and that was stupid. There's 11% raises, all because Bloomberg. I can understand Bloomberg giving 11% raises to policemen and firemen because what was happening was the city was losing officers going to the suburbs where there they pay much more. Like if you're a police officer in New York, your top pay kind of goes up to like for 50,000, 55, maybe 70,000. You go in the suburbs, these Long Island towns, they pay as much as $90,000 a year. But these raises, 11%, at a time when it was already talking about deficits and all that. Now, this is what I recommend, folks. The mayor has a good idea for the MTA to get more funding, which would wipe out this whole threat of service cuts and fare hikes for 2010 and 2011. This is the plan. The plan is to put tolls on the East River bridges and tunnels and all the bridges coming into Manhattan. The free East River bridges and tunnels, and all the bridges coming into Manhattan, and all the bridges coming into the 5 boroughs should have it also. What there should be is there should be tolls. $2, folks, and that would raise a lot of money. Excuse me, folks. That would raise a lot of money that would cover much of this deficit, if not all of it. Okay, but the problem is that Sheldon Silver is against it. Let me tell you something about Sheldon Silver, and it was in the paper, and he even said Shelley's World. Okay, it was in the New York Post. No, actually it was in the Daily News. In the Daily News, when the Lower East Side renewal took place, hundreds of apartment buildings were knocked down. Hundreds. You see all the near the Williamsburg Bridge. You see all these big, huge parking lots, folks. I mean, big ones, huge, that were knocked down. And in these parking lots, people that drive there, and you see the signs as you're coming over the bridges. Lower East Side parking, first 3 hours free. Now Sheldon's, there's been developers that wanted to build on these parking lots, build apartment buildings. And as you know, New York has a big, huge apartment shortage. A big, huge housing shortage, which is a big reason why the rents are so expensive in New York. That's what Sheldon Silver said. Sorry, folks. No. Because Sheldon Silver's basically another Robert Moses. He's for people driving. He's for the exhaust. He's not for people that take mass transit to save the planet and all that. He's not for the poor people who have to depend on taking these buses and subways. No. Sheldon Silver is basically me, Richie, my Richie friends drive Cadillac. We leave this land for the Cadillacs, He can care less. Folks. He killed the congestion pricing thing that Mike Bloomberg wanted. And here's what I suggest. I suggest that we call Sheldon Silver's office. We call State Senate Majority Leader Malcolm Smith. Call all your state senators. I mean, make their life a living hell. Call 24 hours a day. Leave messages. Even when the staff is not there, they answer the phone. Call, folks. Call often, and say basically it's either approve funding to cover the MTA's deficit, or we ain't gonna be voting for you. That's basically it. This is absolutely ridiculous. These MTA cuts gotta be stopped. I'm gonna make a future video that's gonna have all the phone numbers and everything.